All right, let's give it a minute here. I think I'm back live. It's a different stream though, so I'm just going to kick back and chill for a minute while you guys maybe come back in again. We'll see if this works or not. If it doesn't work, I'll just drop it for today. I'm not sure what happened. Looks like our stream dropped in the middle there, but my software said it was still streaming, although I did get an error message. So we'll see. We'll see if it works. If not, then we'll just make it early day and kind of get out of here. So let's see what happens here. Do I have anybody coming on? I can't see. Let's see. It says streaming. No eyeballs. I don't have a good report though. There is somebody. Joe says I'm back. Okay. Well, that's weird. I'm just gonna keep on going, Joe. We'll see what happens. The stream just stopped, but it said it was still going. It was weird. Anyway, I got a false negative there. Anyway, so I stopped it. I restarted it. Here we are. It's gonna be kind of a weird show today. Okay. Yeah, Ice Joe so hard it reflected back to me. How about that, man? Was that something else this morning? Okay, let's get into the rest of it then. So, all right. So a couple things. Obviously, we've got Crabs Chat coming up on Sunday. Without Jen and without Brian, they're going to cruise together. I got a couple of things to kind of get through. I am back, says Dan. Hi, welcome back, Johnny. A couple of things that I don't know how to get into this topic without sounding like a jerk. And I may do this topic again tomorrow because of the weird stream today. But this whole notion of, God, I hate, how do I say this right? I hate the whole math guy versus non-math guy argument, or this division, or whatever you want to call it, right? Because it doesn't make any sense, really. There's just whatever, craps players. But some of the guys who are like all in on the math all the time. And I'm not talking about like JB, who's like a statistician. I'm talking about like Odds Working or PJ Strong or some of these other guys that are like just, House Edge is the only way to play, and that there's nothing else, and write a one-page book and that's the end of the story, right? They're so rigid, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why there's people. It's like, how do I say this? It's like settled science in some respect, but you don't have to care about it. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, the house edge is the lowest on pass line with max odds. We know, everybody knows that, right? I've done 50 shows on the house edge and what the house edge actually means and how it actually impacts your life and all that kind of. We know all this, right? People can still elect not to play that way, right? Maybe it's not an enjoyable way to play for some people. Maybe they just don't like the rhythm of it. Maybe they don't like whatever of it. Maybe they don't like having to drop stack of chips out there as odds and let it sit there for 50 rolls waiting for a bet to resolve, right? There's lots of reasons not to play the math approved way to play. It doesn't make the person an idiot, right? And I look at some of the comments and people are like, these morons will never understand that that's the truth. Well, maybe they just don't want to play that way. And I think that's got to be okay. Like, you can understand the math, you can know the math, you can even, believe, terrible word choice, right? But the math is the math, and still elect not to do it that way, right? I'm a diabetic. I know that if my sugar intake is more than 60 grams a day, my sugar will spike and it'll shorten my life. I still eat candy every so often, right? I have the choice to disobey settled science and make different choices, right? And that's what this is all about. My show, honestly, is about choices and intelligence, right? I'm trying to give you all of it. Like, here's the perfect, tried and true, low house edge math way to do it. That's Mondays. Every Monday I play the Molly. Every Monday I play a 3-point Molly or the Horseman or something that's low house edge, right? I show it to you. And we talk about why it's a great way to play. I don't say it's not a great way to play. It's a great way to play, right? I don't always choose that. Tuesday, we talk about the most unmath thing possible. Today is Trendy Tuesday. There's no such fucking thing as trends. We all know this, right? There's no such thing as trends in a random game. Yet we're going to play a trendy game today. Why? I want you to see it. I want to give you all this information. I'm going to roll it out live, let you see it, let you experience it, make your own damn calls. You guys are all adults, right? I'm not here to be the Pied Piper leading you down some road. I'm not going to write a one-page novelette on house edge and pass bets with odds. I'm just not going to do that. That's not the way I do things. And I like to think that I've got more respect for you, that you can think for yourselves. If you can't think for yourself and you need somebody to drag you around and show you exactly what to do, this is not the show for you. There's other people that are doing other shows that show you exactly what to do and you'll be okay. I'm trying to let you in on how it all works, all the different ways, and let you make a choice. I want to play this way because I think this makes me get to my goal better. I think this way supports my bankroll better. I think this way is more fun. Whatever your reasoning is, go for it, right? 64 across is a lot more palatable for some people than $15 and max odds. I'm sorry. $15 in max odds or $25 in max odds just doesn't work for some people's bankrolls, but 64 across does, or 44 inside does. Sorry. That's the way it is, right? And, a math person has said on this show many times, if you can't afford it, don't take up a spot on the table for a real player. I've heard people say that before too, and that's a bullshit argument as well, right? It's just play how you want to play. I'm trying to give you the information you can use to make your own calls, right? And go forth and conquer with your own calls. And again, we'll go back to here again, right? If you take what I'm teaching you, why are we getting this weird camera view? If you take what I'm teaching you and can filter it through all this stuff here and say, I'm going to take all that ways of playing. And you know what? My goal is this, my bankroll is this, my risk appetite is I'm going to play this way. Cool, right? Fuck the house edge. I'm going to go 32 across. I'm going to press this ceiling. Good. If that's what you want to do, good. Don't say I didn't warn you, right? Fine. If you're going to say I got 10 grand and I'm going to go $500 pass line and max odds behind, I'm going to try and get a home run every day, one hit and go home. Good. Go for it. That's a great way to play if you want to do it that way, right? If you can stand it, do it. Filter it through here. But don't expect me to sit here and tell you that this is the only way to do it and the math says this and fuck everybody else. I'm just not that guy. I'm not that guy. I will say fuck the people that say that's the only way to play, because that has no place, right? There's not only one way to do things. There's one way to do things for the lowest house edge, but not everybody cares about that. And if they don't care about it and they've thought through it and they go, I still don't care about it, fine. You got to be okay with that. But coming in chat and coming in the comments and fucking blasting people doesn't make any sense at all, right? You just make yourself look like an asshole because you're just on blast all the time. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I'm here trying to do all the things and have an interesting, roundabout viewpoint on this whole thing and having a good time with it, right? I'm not here to like I said, write you up. I'm not here to write you the common sense one-page pamphlet and lead the revolution to pass line with max odds. That ain't going to happen, right? So enjoy the show. That's it. Now, Daily Dose of DI here. Again, this is a same kind of ranty sort of thing, but why? This is an interesting one, and I really want to know. I really want you guys in chat. We have how many people came back? We have 17 people back watching. Good. I want to know in chat. I want to know in comments, and I don't care if you hate me, if you hate DI, if you hate all of it. Please be the guy that comments. Okay, I don't really care. Put all your thoughts in here. Why guy A versus guy B, or dude A versus dude B? This is an interesting one to me. And I'm really curious about this because I fall into the trap too, right? Why do people say that Dominator, is a jerk? Don't listen to Dominator. The golden touch way of throwing is bullshit. I've heard this from people who throw from the deck and don't do the backswing, right? I don't think it's about the backswing versus the deck. I think that there's, for some reason, people don't ever listen to the golden touch. They're a bunch of charlatans. I've heard that, right? They're a bunch of charlatans. But heavy's okay. Or Ed's okay. Don't listen to Bone Tracker or Bone Thrower, who's telling you how to throw, but listen to Golden Arm or whatever, right? Why this guy is charlatan, that guy not? What is it about the cult of personality that leads you from this guy, this dude, to that dude? What is it that makes Golden Touch crap or the Axis way right or the Dice Coach way right and the other guy way wrong, right? If you're a non-believer in dice control, they are all charlatans, right? If you don't believe in it, everybody's full of shit, and they should all be lumped into the same bucket of rotten fish, right? If you do, however, believe that dice control is possible and you have faith in the process, why would you then segment off into A versus B? I'm always curious about this because when you read comments and you hear people say about these guys, People get really passionate about, I'm not sure if it's defending the teacher. I spent a couple $1,000s with this guy, therefore he's my guy. Is it just loyalty to a person? Or is it really something in the way that's being taught? I wonder if it's actually fact-based or if it's just cult of personality. Curious about that, right? I have no opinion on this one at all, other than I know that I fall into the same trap. There are people, dude A versus dude B, and I can do it with you on strategies too. There are people who put strategies out there that I trust, right? People who put strategies out there that I don't trust, right? Why? Right? Why am I okay watching Waylon say, this is a strategy that I've never lost with? And I get really pissed off when Jimmy says, this is a strategy I've never lost with. Why does one person okay with me and one person not? Right? Why do some people hate Tony Leo and I love Tony Leo? Same guy, same teachings. They're doing the same thing, right? What is it about it, right? Is it just that you know a person as a person? And that can sort of put a sheen over top of what they're saying that everybody else sees as BS, but you're like, no, that's my buddy, right? And I can give you another example, right? People say to me all the time, how are you and Myopia Movie friends? How is it possible that you're friends? He goes off, blah, 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 blah. You know what? Because he's my fucking friend. That's why. I love the guy, right? And it's okay with me that he blasts me like a brother would. It's okay with me, right? I will filter that and say it's cool, although everybody else hates him, except for a couple people, right? Why is that? Is it just that you know somebody on a personal level and you can put up with a bunch of bullshit, right? And I think actually that's very interesting when you think about that, right? What you'll allow yourself to I guess put up with is maybe the wrong choice of words, but put up with, what you'll allow yourself to consume or lean into because you know a person, right? And people will front up different things, right? They'll come out more forceful or less forceful in public or private situations. It's just interesting to me. So anyway, dude A versus dude B. I'd love to know your thoughts on some of this stuff, right? Not just with DI. It comes up in DI because there's really these weird factions with it. Like, and I'm thinking about it because of Gargoyle and Cage with the chopper, dude A versus dude B kind of thing. But I was really thinking about Golden Touch really gets a bad rap as charlatans, but other people teach kind of the same thing, right? What makes one versus the other, right? They're both charging, they're both doing lessons, they're both doing clinics, yet one group is seen as snake oil and one group is not. Why is that? I don't understand it. I don't know Dom from a hole in the ground. I don't know Heavy from a hole in the ground. I know Heavy a little bit. I've interviewed him a couple of times. We've hung out for a day. I know Tony. I know Bo pretty well. But I'm just curious. Just whatever. Random shower thoughts here from Johnny on the DI segment. All right. Let's do this. Let's go. Before I throw a little bit, I saw a couple of questions up there, so I'm actually gonna do a couple of cues real quick before we start. We have 25 folks watching. I'm going to get into some throwing here, but let me I saw a couple of questions. I want to make sure I don't miss them. Dan says, I failed to win the pass line, the come out roll. Why would I add money to a bet that I'm disadvantaged on? Okay, that's an interesting point. That money doesn't matter. Okay, let me answer the question at the table. Because I've heard this a lot, and this is to me, Dan, and don't take this the wrong way. This is one of those questions it's asked in the wrong way, okay? And hopefully that light's not too bad today. We'll see how it works out. But if you've got a $25 pass line bet and the point goes to a 5, right? We are disadvantaged, right? The max odds for that, by the way, is a black chip. It's $100. Why would you throw good money after bad? You're at a 3-2 disadvantage here. Why would you drop more money on a bet that you have a disadvantage on? That's what Dan's asking us. I'm going to put that quote back up so you all can enjoy it. Okay? I would come back to you and say, why would you ever do this? Why would you put a $25 9 out? Why would you place bet the 6 or the 8 after the point? Why would you do that? It's the same question, right? Puck's on. Every bet you make when the puck is on Every bet you make, you're at a disadvantage on, even if you're laying something, you're at a disadvantage. The second the puck turns on, you're upside down. Why would you ever place the 9? That's the same as doing this. There's no different other than the color of the chip, right? If you want to make it equivalent, why would you ever do that? And I've seen people black chip the 9, black chip the 6 and 8. Why would you do it? You're upside down because you're a gambler. You're trying to win the bet. You're trying to win the bet. That's why you do it, right? Somebody who bypasses the come out and then places the point, which if you're in a cross better or an inside better, we do all the time. If I go 44 inside from right here, I'm doing exactly that. I'm placing the point when the puck's on. It's no different. No different. We all got to realize this, right? We are actually at a disadvantage on every single bet. And every bet you make, you're more likely to lose than win. Bets from the outside in pay a little more to 1 than the inside bets because they're harder to hit, right? That makes them fun. The lowest house edge is in here. The higher house edge, it grows as you move out because their bets are harder to win, right? You pay a premium in tax, right, for the joy of winning more money to 1 on the bets. That's every bet you make falls into that same category. It's a matter of where do you want your money to go, right? Do you want to go only pass line and 5x odds, and that's your only bet every single shooter, right? $150 at risk, or do you want to go 160 across? Same risk, right? The reward here on that one hit, if you get it, is huge. The reward up there is little tiny ones, but one little tiny reward and turn your bets off, right? You play it how you want to play it. Everybody's got their own brains, right? Your own brain and your own appetite for. That's why I say it a lot. This idea of risk appetite is, to me, the thing, right? Risk appetite is what defines. Let me go back to the other screen, right? This idea of risk appetite or risk aversion is really what drives it all, right? Some people look at going across and going, why would I ever put 160 at risk to win $35, right? You're laying against the 7. When you're going across, you're betting 160 to win 35. You're laying against the 7. It's like laying at 12, right? Pardon me. It's not quite 1 to 6, but it's basically that. You're laying against the 7 when you're going across. If you're okay with that and getting 1 or 2 and stopping, or 1 or 2 and transitioning away to where you're not laying anything, right? If you got 160 across and in one hit $35 and you go 6 and 8 for 18 each, you're now playing at 0 risk. That's fine for you, right? You're not going to make any money doing that. You're going to be treading water all the time. But if that's how you want to do it, because your risk appetite is so low, Godspeed, right? If you don't mind dropping 150 out of your rack on one number, pass line, or pass line with whatever odds, if you're okay with that amount of risk, which again is a lot of risk, pass line with max odds players are not avoiding risk, right? God bless them. They're not avoiding risk. That's a lot of paper coming out of your rack for one freaking number, right? You're not avoiding risk. If your risk appetite is okay with that, and you're fine with sitting there watching all the dice go by, waiting for your one number to hit, Godspeed, go for it. But identify that ahead of time. Know ahead of time what you're going to do. And know ahead of time what you're okay with. That's the most important thing to me, right? Is understanding what you're okay with. Okay, so let's see. Oh, great question here. This is I'm really liking your content and systems, and I'm also enjoying the Casino Quest stuff. You guys have very different risk postures. I find myself between you both. Again, you've got to, this screen, we can stay here all day long. By the way, David and I, great friends, I work for Casino Quest, right? So we talk about bridge concepts all the time, and the bridge concept that David teaches is on here. Bankroll, risk, identity, goal, emotion. That's the bridge. That's the BRIDGE of bridge. That's what David preaches, right? I add in discipline and mindset, okay? I add in a little bit of better understanding, I think, of identifying time to leave, right? I'm okay with leaving. David's not. David's mentality is, let's get to where we're good, and then we're going to ace the casino out of their money. They're trying to felt the table all the time, right? I'm not. I'm okay with making from $5,000 $500 a day. I'm like this little day trader, right? Little bit all the time, because it's about your relationship with your money. Ultimately, your bankroll speaks to this, right? Your relationship with your money is where this all comes down to. To me, if you look at what I've talked about in the past, is this idea of playing in 3 phases. Get your money out there, right? First, phase 1, get your money home. Whatever you got out there at risk, make sure it comes back to your rack. First things foremost, get your money back in your pocket again, right? The second thing that's super important is get a little bit of profit locked up. Lock up a little bit of profit so you're satisfied. Go 160 across, get $200 in your rack. That way you got your money back plus 40. You're like, cool, man, I'm locked. I got my money back, I'm locked. Now, time to go. I think the Casino Quest guys are more going a little bit earlier in the roll. Again, I'd be okay with that $40 on every single shooter, right? It's just different. I grew up without a lot of money. As a matter of fact, I still don't have a lot of money. So for me, every dollar that I've got, I protect it. Like, I play super careful because I really respect the money that I have. I don't want to lose any of it. Even though I've got a separate bank account for this, I still want to protect that, right? So I'm just very conservative. It just is how it is. There's a marriage there between both of us, right? Knowing how to play with discipline, with an emotional mindset that makes sense to match everything else, you'll have a better time, right? You'll find over time that your relationship with your bankroll changes. And when it does change, you're able to then make the shift to go, I'm either going to stop being conservative and it's time to let myself stretch a little bit and play some more aggressive things that David would teach you to do. Or you might say, you know what? I used to have a bunch of money. I'm worried about things. I'm worried about where the country's going. I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go be more careful. Then you come to the John way of thinking, right? And you can kind of morph and move there. I think all of it's good as long as you're eyes wide open. All right, let's play. Ready to play a little bit? I'm talking too much. Shut up, fatso. Let's go play this. We're going to do a Trendy Tuesday. So we're going to do a little line parlay, or a little 1, 3, 2, 4 line, which is this. I'm going to get to the table. I'll show you at the table what we're going to do, and then we're going to go do it. So the 1, 3, 2, 4 line is played this way, okay? You're going to have a pass line bet. That's 1 unit. If it wins, you're going to power press and go to 3 units. 1, 3. If it wins a third time, 3 wins 3, you're going to regress down to 2. 1, 3, then 2. If the 2 wins, it's a full parlay, and you win your 4-unit bet. So it takes 4 consecutive wins to work. 1 unit, 2 units, 1, 3, 2 units, and then 4 units. At the end, if all the bets win, your 1 unit plus the power press turns into 250. Okay, or a 10-unit net win. That's what we're going to try. 1, 3, 2, 4. And if you survive that, you can do it again, but your 1 is actually 2 units. You can double everything up. All right, that's that one. The field paroli is simple. We're going to look for 3 in a row in the field, maybe 4, we'll see. Wait for a field roll to show. We're going to follow the field. We see a field number, go into the field. And all we're going to do is do a 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then run for the hills with a little, 8-unit profit. That's the goal. We're going to do a little field, 3 roll paroli, and pray for the best, right? Trending. We're just going to follow what happens and hope for a streak. This is pure streak betting, and that's it. Dusted One wants no crapsy. No crapsy today. Pardon me. I'm sorry. I got the cough from the flu still. I didn't set it up earlier. I'm sorry. I was doing something else and I forgot to set it up. So I'm not going to crapsy it this morning. No time, but I will do the roll tracker. So here we go. Let's get to the DPC screen. Where are we at here? We're going to go here, daily paycheck. You can see my dice. You can see my throwing lane, and here we go. We're going to go. I'm probably not going to risk more than $500 today. I'll take the $500 here, and let's get 400 and 100. We might need 2 sets of greens here, but actually I'll get 2 sets of greens now. And there we go. $300 in black. I'll spread them so you can see them. And all the greens you can handle will go pass line. Again, pass line 1, 3, 2, 4. Field, we're going to wait for one, and then hopefully we get a little streak. The goal being, obviously, never lose more than your base bet, with the exception of the pass line thing, and win lots of money when the streak happens. That's it. Bet low, lose low, but win big. Does it work? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's go. Let's see. I got to get I'm working on the new dice set, so forgive me for being so freaking slow with it. Here we go. You guys there still? I don't think anybody's here, probably. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully y'all are back. The stream today keeps doing this thing where it goes out. I'm not sure what's happening, but it says stream stopped, but then it looks like there's people still here. I can't tell what's going on. I just rolled a 5. I just rolled a 3, 2, 5. I think while it was off. So if you're still there, say hi. We'll see. Something's definitely amiss with the stream today. Fits and starts, right? It's back. Okay, I'll keep an eye on it. I'm not sure why it's doing it. But here we go. We're looking for a point of 8 still. I just had one roll while we were gone. I rolled a 5. Hard 4. Deuce 2, 2. All right, there's a field number. I'll do our last field try. This last one here is for the hopefully we hit a pass line and we can use that. Otherwise, we'll be done. So last gasp right there. All righty. Count to 0. That's a hard 4. All right. That one rolled around not very well. That's a 4, not a 2. Or a 2, not a 4. 2, 2. All right. That'll pay the field. And we'll leave it up. I don't know why I put 3 hard 4s in there. For some reason, it shouldn't have done that. Should have just been 2. So that's fixed. Here we go. Dice Daddy's here. Good morning. All right. Kiss of Death, 7. There it is. Bummer. Okay, we lose it all. We lose it all. 4 tray. 4 tray 7. I'm going to log that, by the way, as a paycheck. That was a hard fought little session right there. 2 1/4 is good enough for me today. I'm going to call it 225 as a win and be done. Like, I'm not going to, the streak betting thing is very streaky. You either catch it or you don't. We caught that great field streak earlier and won $300. Pardon me. That should be enough, right? You catch a miracle like that, get out of Dodge. It ain't happening again today. I'm just like, when those, again, I think you capitalize on it by betting small, crushing it and then running away. That was what we just did. Probably going back in there twice in the field after that win, not smart. But I'm doing a TV show, so it's whatever. Pass line today did nothing for us. We didn't win one pass line bet today. So it is what it is. That was a 15 roller though this morning. I'll take it. It wasn't the greatest, but it was our BSR is 943. So that's all good. All right, I'm gonna stop the show here at 8 o'clock. Too many weird streaming issues today, so I don't know why. But let's go back over here. Back over here, and we'll talk about it real quick. Yeah, I don't have any faith in the internet today staying alive, but yeah. So the field parlay is interesting, right? The field is one of those weird areas in the casino that just gets so streaky, right? We've all heard the story. JB told the story of the guy that he watched lose $25,000 twice off a $5 bet, trying to martingale the field, right? It'll go dark, man. That field just goes so dark. sometimes. Yesterday was a good example. I had a 40 whatever roller it was yesterday. There was a streak in there that was nothing but 6s and 8s. There must have been 25 non-field rolls in that section. It was so crazy. That person would have got killed, right? Going field. Today, we had a great little 6 in a row, I think it was, right? If you catch it, and you go, cool, man, that was great. I'm out. Like, don't look at gift horse in the mouth, but don't think it's going to keep on happening. That's why I say trending, no such thing as a trend. It just happens, right? You get these weird little runs. Take it for what it is and get out of there. There's no predicting what's going to happen next. That little 6 roll in the field could have very easily turned into 15 non-fields. There's no way to know, right? If you just happen to catch the series where it's on and you're betting low when it's not happening and you're betting big when it's happening because you're parlaying the wins, good on you, right? You beat the house that day, right? That's it. The 1, 3, 2, 4 line did 0 today. We had 1 win, I think, and that was it. We parlayed it, didn't work. I like that bet. The 1, 3, 2, 4 line bet, by the way, if you're just sitting there bored, you're short stacked. That's not a bad way to go at it. At a big, crowded, busy table with a whole bunch of people, and you want to last 6 hours, a 1, 3, 2, 4 line bet is fine. Even that with single odds is a fine way to sit there, grind through it, and you'll catch that run a few times around the table, and you'll be in good shape. So, all right, guys, I'm out. I'm gonna go try and get some work done here. But in the meantime, love y'all. God bless. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, putting up with all the bullshit stream stuff, and I will see you tomorrow. John's out. Bye.